All right, what up, everyone? Welcome back to Financial Education and Business. Today's going to be a little bit interesting, a little different than what I've done before. I'm going to be showing you the site that I created. The site is going to have, it's going to be a stock AI stock site. So I created this AI site that when you type in, well, first of all, this is Google. There's a Google AI Studio is actually a really cool site to use when you want to develop stuff using Canvas. And that way you can actually create a site and try to see what is one way that AI can kind of help you, with your research, and how can you make it so when you research something, the output that you get is kind of encapsulates what you're interested in. So in this example, I was able to create this site. Obviously, it's not completely done, but I am getting somewhere. So I'm just going to show you an example, see what I have, and how I was able to get to this point. So here's the site. You got the analysis site, my watch list, and research. So for example, let's say you're interested in a stock like AMD. Well, you click on analyze. Obviously, I'm not paying for this. This is completely free, and I'm using Google Gemini to Google AI Studios to do this. So if you use Gemini, I don't think you'll be able to do this. So you have to specifically ask for AI Studios and go there and start developing this. So practically what I did on the back end is I prompted the AI to say, you know what, when somebody does research for a stock, I want you to give them a quick synopsis on what the company does. So as you can see right here, it says that AMD is a global semiconductor company that designs and integrates high-performance microprocessors in graphical processing units, GPUs, so on and so forth. I also told it to provide additional information around when the company started, who started it, and I also had a little section of the current leadership, and also told it, hey, if this is a founder-led company, make sure you tell me it's founder-led. But in this case, this is not founder-led, so it doesn't tell you that it's a founder-led company. So as you can see here, it tells you, some of the key figures in the C-suite. And then here, it gives you some financial information. As you can see, it shows you income statement, trailing 12-month, Q1 2024, 2024, gives you the revenue, net income, gross profit, and diluted EPS. And then gives you a quick summary of the balance sheet. But I also told it, you know what, it might be interesting to see the revenue and net income performance over a certain period. First, I don't even know where the AI is getting this information, so I can't really tell it to provide any more than it can. I just told it give me the most current data. I said I want to see the annualized historical numbers, and I also told it I want to see the quarter-over-quarter numbers. So as you can see, I was able to go get the quarter-over-quarter revenue and net income performance. And as you can see, since last quarter, both revenue and net income have gone down, but since Q3, you can see there was some growth from Q1 to Q4 of 2023, decrease in 2024. And I also told the AI, you know what, when I'm doing a stock research, I probably want to know, what are they currently offering? And then what are some of the future products, roadmaps that they have? So the AI was able to kind of configure some of the things that I'm looking at here. So it looks like they have the Ryzen, Radeon, EPYC. So the EPYC processors used by Meta, and Meta has got really good relationship with AMD. And as you can see, future roadmaps, next gen MI accelerators, Zen 5, RDNA for graphics. So as you can see, it kind of shows you the roadmap of the company. Key partnerships. I also told it to give me some key partnerships. They are working with Xbox, Azure, Sony, Amazon Web Services, which is kind of cool. And I also asked the AI to say, you know what, I want to see some of its competition, the competitive landscape. So as you can see in this section, it's got Intel, NVIDIA, and Qualcomm. And I also said, you know what, I want to see the competition from their similar market cap perspective. So this is AMD's at about $260 billion approximate market cap. And it did okay. It did okay to kind of break down the competitive landscape from a market cap peers. And then at the end, obviously just kind of does a summary of the industry, the performance, and the future outlook. And then I also told it, you know what, I want to have the ability to be able to collapse details. For example, if I collapse this, I just get, high level information. But I can also make it show the financial data. But I said I want to be able to collapse the details and just maybe look at the competition. The cool part is these stocks can be added to your watch list. Let's say, you're researching AMD and you come across a company that you haven't heard of, let's say Intel. All right, add Intel to your watch list, maybe Qualcomm to your watch list, and then show all the details, and you say, you know what, you're reading here and you say partnerships they have. You want to know additional partnerships they have. Who is their main partner in the AI industry. So I also told the AI, you know what, when I do all this research, I may find something that that is kind of interesting, and I might want to do additional research on. So I had the AI kind of provide a section here where you can interact regarding the company. So Advanced Micro is main partner in AI industry, including major cloud server providers like Azure, Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, which utilizes AMD accelerators. And then Meta is also a significant collaboration, AI hardware and software optimization. There we go. So we were able to get a quick summary of whatever information that you might find interesting as you're doing additional research on the company. Next, let's go to our watch list. All right, we added these companies into our watch list. We said, we want to look at Intel. And what that does is when you click on Intel, I told the AI, take this as the user's interest. The user's intent to want to know more about the stock. Therefore, go ahead and do research on the stock and provide analysis for the user. So what the AI will do is it will do the research and provide details around that stock, and it tells you right here it is in your watch list. Once again, some of the details that might be important, what industry they're in, leadership, the revenue over the course of 5 years. Outdated, but it's still interesting. Quarterly, it's decent. Current, future roadmaps, key partnerships, competition, market cap, the market cap competitor landscape, and then we're going to go into the research. So the research section, I mean, I'm still working on it. I'm not fully done. But what I wanted this section to be about is I want it to be a site where I can kind of discover stocks and exchanges and see where a certain stock, like let's say, like I don't know how many stocks are on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ or Japanese exchange, and I want to be able to know approximately how much. This is most people when they start researching stocks, they don't even know some of these things that exist. So I wanted to have something that would be useful like this. Now, the goal is this. I want to be able to group the US exchanges within this box, all for the US, Europe, Asia markets, to be in their own boxes, so that the user doesn't have to go and try to find out, okay, which one is Europe, which one is United States stock market exchange. As you can see, there's still details missing, like there's no OTC, over the counter. So these are some of the things that I kind of want to add. I want to be able to make it so a user can click on any one of these exchanges and it goes into additional details. Maybe show how many stocks, but then what are the industries, what is the main focus of this stock exchange, maybe also what is the main focus of the NASDAQ, also Japan, or like all these different exchanges. So that is the goal. As of now, I don't have all that, so maybe I'll just do that on live. So I've completed research page to group. Okay, I'm gonna say refresh. So I've already asked it to go ahead and group them, but the AI has not refreshed the app. So refresh the app with that update. So the crazy part about this is that you don't really have to know about coding. I know nothing about coding, but I'm able to go in here and make this entire site. And of course, once I have what I need, I can easily just deploy this in the cloud and be able to have people use it, maybe also include ads or whatever it might be, which is pretty cool. There's going to be more features that I would like to add and collaborate with somebody if possible. But as you can see, the app is going to refresh completely, which could take a while. The UI will disappear. But yeah, so I kind of want to make it so it's useful for a beginner, but also useful for somebody who's been in the stock market for a while. So the app has refreshed. I asked it to go ahead and include it, and look, just like that, it grouped them. So Australia, Canada, China, Europe, Germany, United Kingdom, Japan, Switzerland, UK, United States. So something that I am noticing here is that's a lot of scrolling to get to see all the different markets. I wonder if it's better to be able to have maybe how would I group this? Also, I'm noticing that it's missing some of the OTC exchanges. So what I'll do is I will have the AI group these exchanges in a way that the user doesn't have to scroll so far down to view them. Okay. Group exchanges so that the user does not have to scroll too far, scroll so much to see each exchange for each country, right? Maybe I can say so. As you can see, I have no idea exactly how to group this. I could group them like this. Let's see. One idea is I can group them like this, like that, into squares or rectangles. Then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then whatever is left. So be US, UK, China, and then maybe have the smaller countries here, like this, at the bottom. So the smaller exchanges here, and then while the main exchanges are up top. So let's see what the AI decided to do. Looks like we ran into something. So it seems like there is some kind of error. The really cool part about this, which is a little bit scary actually, you're able to see what the AI is thinking and how the AI speech is so like logical. It's really impressive that you can see the inner thought. So the AI is just literally speaking to itself, saying, this is called chain of thought. It says, I'm focusing on the user's recurring JSON parsing problems. I've noticed I am now diving into this issue, code specifically parsing logic, which is pretty crazy. I am now revisiting, like the AI is able to, you're able to go into the mind of the AI and just understand that is how it's logically going through the process and trying to resolve the issue. I am now revisiting the JSON extraction logic. I am reviewing the error handling. So it's pretty impressive that how you can just track the AI's chain of thought and how it's trying to resolve the error issue. I've identified and fixed the syntax error that was causing the application to crash. The error typically occurs when AI's response, which is expected to be clean JSON object, sometimes includes extra text. And it tells you what the problem was, which is pretty crazy. So let's see what the AI was able to suggest. Interesting. Okay. So instead of So this does, so it made it a collapsible feature, which is way better than what I was thinking. You know what might be better is that have the largest exchanges um, have the largest, same idea I had with that screenshot, have the largest exchanges here, but then have the rest in a drop down, collapsible drop down. So have the largest exchanges at the top of the site in their own group and group, while the rest of the exchanges are in a collapsible drop down. I think that would work. Let's see what this does. The first thing here that I really didn't tell it to do is to keep the country. As you can see, obviously the US exchange, these exchanges are going to be large. The UK, Hong Kong is pretty big. Germany's all right, not that big. United Kingdom is big. All right. Okay. So looks like the AI, of course, displaying the most significant. Okay. Now go ahead and update the app. The cool part is I know nothing about programming. All you have to be really in the world of AI is curious and try to create something. So that is the goal here. I'm being curious and trying to make a site that works. Let's see what the AI does here. Obviously I can't see, but the cool part is I can see the inner thoughts of the agent. So I've been given new instruction to proceed. Before jumping in, I'm reviewing the provided file and preview previous requests, which is a group large exchanges at the top and the rest collapsible down. Planning, analyzing, it kind of goes through each chain of thought. And now it's refreshing. Now if I go into here, I have no idea what is being typed, what is being updated. But the AI is going through, making sure everything's linked up correctly, error handling is there, the financial data is still there, and is going to provide what I need, which is pretty impressive. So now the site is going to get refreshed. Which is pretty crazy. Like, I feel bad for, all those college students that went and got their degree in coding. Uh-oh, we might have an error here. Looks like we have an error. So I have no idea how I'm gonna solve the error. So if I'm gonna be a coder, probably the best thing to do is how to fix errors if I want a job in IT. But to learn how to fix errors, you have to know how the code works. So but then if you can just use AI to solve the problem, then is there really a need to really understand that stuff? So the AI is gonna go solve the problem and try to fix it, and then we'll update the whole thing. You can see it's going through, just trying to fix it here. There you go. Here is the change. Update the file server service, Gemini service.ts. Okay. So it looks like it fixed the error. Now I gotta say okay. So the crazy part is if you get something wrong, for example, it's kind of interesting because spelling actually matters to the AI. So I'm currently dissecting the prompt, focus on what implement the change and refresh the app truly means in the context. So I didn't give it a context. I said, you know what, go ahead and implement the change. Obviously, I didn't say implement the change that it just made. So for keeping the large exchanges up top, but it is trying to decipher and understand that is what I'm talking about. The ambiguity requires a thorough review of the previous provided files. I need to understand what changes are intended and how to refresh the app without specifics. Pretty crazy cool. I'm now zeroing in on implement changes, giving me context of previous changes regarding the exchange sorting. Then boom, figured out what I'm talking about, and now it's going through and gonna solve the problem. Cool. Doesn't even show the API key, which is amazing. I'm not gonna show the rest of this for the fear that I don't want to show the API. All right. Boom. It's refreshing. Let's see what the AI was able to do in this case. Uh-oh. Looks like we ran into another error. I'm currently investigating the failed load app error. It's not loading up the app. Gemini server error. So I don't know if I am limited on how many tokens I'm allowed to input for the day, but maybe that's what's going on here. But it should tell me at the end of what it is. But this is pretty cool. The fact that I can create a site, stock research site, and be able to find stocks that I'm interested in, and be able to see important details that I need on a stock without having to go to 50, 60 different sites. Most of the time, if you need this information, like what the company does, who the leadership is, anything that's additional when it comes to researching a stock, you have to go to how many? 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 sites, scroll through all the ads, and then finally be able to put together what you need, copy paste or whatever not, and try to have that data somewhere versus just having an AI that gathers all that data in one place for any stock that you're interested in. That's going to cut research by, hundreds and hundreds of hours if you're spending a lot of time researching stocks. You want to be able to have a site that kind of gives you what you want, one shot. You just tell the agent the stock you need and provides all the details that you are interested in. So I think I'm gonna cut the video soon. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna keep working on it, but we'll keep developing it. So boom, it brought up the main exchanges, major global exchanges, and then put the rest in a collapsible format here and labeled them as well, which is pretty cool. So New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Japan, Shanghai, Europe, London, Hong Kong, and Shenzhen Stock Exchange. So something that's interesting that is missing here is the over-the-counter. So I can just say, I noticed you did not include OTC markets. Can you include this for the United States? So there's about 5,000 stocks in the main exchanges. As you can see, we got 3,000, 5,000, about 6,200 stocks here. But the thing is, there's a lot more stocks in the stock market than just these, because over the counter, there's a lot more stocks. If you include those, we have a lot. So I've updated the AI instruction to ensure it specifically includes OTC markets in the list of exchanges in the United States. This will provide more comprehensive overview research page, which is cool. So the code is probably in the back end updating to include all this detail. I hope it doesn't error out. The page refresh. Keeps running into these little bugs, which is because once you have it, you have it. I don't think it'll be a problem, but you just got to go through and solve, have the AI solve all the problems first. So the cool part, as you can see, I'm using Gemini Pro. You can use React and a couple of other options, I believe, but I'm using the Gemini 2.5 Pro. Load up after this, I'm gonna move on to actually looking at a stock that we're going to do more reviews on. Obviously, for now, you know, I'm still working on the app. It's gonna need a lot of help still. I have to make it so it can provide really important details around news, maybe what's going on with the stock, what is the maybe the sentiment, overall sentiment in the marketplace. Boom, it should be refreshing the app. So yeah, but I'm going to include sentiment. I'm going to include news, current news around the stock, so on and so forth. But the cool part is this. So you have a company like Perplexity, is an AI, as you know. They have a really cool finance section, which is a really good touch to what they're doing. I want something similar to this. As you can see, you have the main discover page. ARM holding stock plummets over 5%, just like news and when that news came in. And maybe, relevant information that's kind of interesting around maybe the user's watch list. But also, I want to be able to have these outlooks, have how the market is doing, what is trending. So let's say I click on any one of these stocks, NVIDIA. It will show this detail. It will show financial information. As you can see here, it will show historical data, the price. You can see it's got earning details here. It's got research. And you can click on view and obviously it will take you to another site. But then it gives you a quick details, just like my site. But it doesn't tell you what you want, because you want to be able to research stocks. So as you can see, like I have these in my watch list. For example, I click on iron, and it shows me how the stock's doing today. You can see market close, market open throughout the day, how much is up for the day. Really, really, really just an amazing touch by Perplexity. And the cool part is key issues. You got bullish and bearish sentiment. This is something I want to add. So iron is undergoing a rapid transformation. Despite triple-digit revenue growth, execution risks are mounting. Long-term sustainability depends on the competitive AI cloud market, where capacity, pricing, and client acquisition are uncertain, which is pretty cool to see. Kind of a sentiment analysis, valuation relative to fundamentals. Just a quick drop down in here. You got reliability of financial performance and risk management. As you can see, you also have that data, which is pretty cool. Now we go into the latest price movement. As you can see, down 12%, and it kind of gives you a quick summary throughout the days of when the market was open. Keep scrolling. It gives you peers, and Clean Spark had 8 core. Yes. Coinbase, Super Macro. I mean, GE. You know, they're not peers exactly. I mean, yes, they're, Irene does some crypto stuff, but mostly they're doing data centers. That's their main focus. But stocks are doing well. Good thing I have some of this. So that's what I want to kind of that's what I kind of want to create for my site. Boom. Refreshing here. The code, the home page. Oh, there's another bug. So this is the struggle of building an AI site. You're gonna end up running into issues and try to solve them.